I'm jumping on and showing you how to make my garlic prawns recipe for your Thermomix. So I'm going to start cooking it because it takes a little bit of time. I've got one onion just peeled and cut in half. That's going to get popped in. And then I've got garlic. These are huge garlics, so I'm only using 2, but the recipe does call for 4. So I'm just going to chop that up quickly. So that just takes a couple of seconds just to chop, and then I'm going to scrape it down. And then I'm going to add some butter and oil. And I'm going to start sauteing it. This is to get my garlic prawns going. So I've just got a bit of butter. And then, woo, those onions are strong for my eyes. And then I'm just adding a bit of olive oil. Just a bit of a drizzle is fine. I just want to get... Hopefully I'm not losing connection. I'm here now. So I'm just putting it on for 6 minutes. Oops, let me turn it on properly. My eyes are still sensitive from those really strong onions. 6 minutes, aroma temperature, even 100 degrees is fine. Reverse, spoon speed. In our recipe, it's called lowest speed, obviously, because it's a Thermomix trademark word. So we just use lower speed whenever we use spoon speed. Okay, so this is the garlic prawns recipe from our blog. It's a free recipe. This bit is just sauteing the onions and the garlic just to make that beautiful sauce that it's going to create. This is probably one of the first recipes I converted. It's one of my dad's recipes. A beautiful recipe to add to so many different things. So you can add it to just like cook a steak and put it on top for, you know, reef and beef or whatever they call it. You can add it to some pasta. You can add it to some rice. You can add it some cauliflower rice. I'm going to do it over some veggies today. Let me show you what I've got set up. So I've just got some steamed veggies. It's just got some salt, some pepper and some herbs on top, some spices actually. And this one's just got the butter and things as well. It's just to like sort of give it a bit more flavour and whatever else. And I'm just going to steam them to serve mine up today. But like I said, there's so many different ways that you can serve it. You can literally serve it in so many different ways. It just depends how you enjoy it. But it does have a lot of sauce, and that's why a lot of people like to add the rice or some type of carb to it so that it can soak up all that juice. But I find even if it's just the veggies or something, it's still beautiful. I'll show you the recipe on the blog here. So this is the recipe. Like I said, it's a free recipe on the blog. I've got the link in the comments, or in the description. So just check it out. I know lots of you have. Sorry, I'm losing connection here. I know lots of you have tried this recipe and you love it. It does, you know, it's really quick and easy. Like it's literally just sauteing the onions now, but it just takes a couple of minutes to really saute them up. And then I'm just going to add some cream and some vegetable stock and literally cook that up. Now I wanted to talk to you about my prawns. So I'm using frozen green prawns. So they are tailed and everything. I mean, not tailed, they are just cleaned and everything. But honestly, you can use any type you like. So even if they are already cooked prawns and even if they're peeled, I would only put them in right at the end just to heat them up a little bit, and that's it. So the only thing that you will change depending on the type of prawn you're using is the end time when you're cooking those. So if you're using completely frozen with the heads on and everything, they take a little bit longer to cook. So just you will just have to be a bit more good at estimating the times for the different types of prawns that you will use. But a lot of people always say to me, I don't know what prawns to use or whatever else. But honestly, I just try to find what I can at the time. And it really doesn't make much difference apart from that little bit of cooking time. Otherwise, you'll shrink them down too much. But it turns out beautiful. So this has just got a couple more minutes. So bear with me, and then I'm going to show you a couple more things that I'm going to do. I'll start explaining it to you. So I'm using, in the recipe it calls for pure cream, and you can really use any type of cream you like to cook it down. I'm actually going to keep this one dairy free tonight, just so everyone in my house can eat it. And I'm just going to use some coconut cream. and it works exactly the same. In my recipe, I don't actually put any thickener, so it isn't a thick garlic sort of sauce. It's very easy to make it thicker if you prefer a thicker garlic sort of sauce. I would add like maybe a tablespoon of either corn flour or tapioca flour with a little bit of water, like tiny little bit of water, just enough to make it a bit more liquid, and then pour that in when you pour in whatever cream you're using, and that'll thicken it up enough for you to enjoy. But I'm also using, the recipe calls for 500 grams of prawns. I'm actually doubling it, and it's because it's not a thick sauce, it really doesn't matter if I put in a kilo of prawns. I think if you put more than a kilo of prawns, you probably have to put more of the liquid in. But seriously, 500 grams to a kilo of prawns, totally fine for this recipe. It'll still work out perfect. So if you're jumping online with me now, let me know if you've tried this recipe, what you think. Comment so I know that you're here and what you think. And if this is helping you as well, because I love to know what you think of my videos so that I can keep creating some content that you actually find useful. This has only got a minute to go, so I'm just going to jump on to the next step. It's literally just salting. Thanks, Paula. You're always great coming on. I really appreciate your comments. So I might just stop this one. It's only got a minute to go, so it's totally fine. You can see all the steam coming out. I don't want to turn it too fast so I don't lose you guys again. You can see that there. Beautiful. So now I'm adding the cream. So just going to give that a shake so the top thick coat of the cream actually goes into the sauce and doesn't just stay in the tin. So pull that one in. Cream. And now vegetable stock paste. Don't forget the vegetable stock paste. Seriously, this little tablespoon is going to make all the difference to the flavor of your sauce. If you've never made it, seriously, just Google Thermomix stock paste. There's like a million online, but it makes so much flavor. It adds the salt, it adds that flavor for that, and it just, you can't forget that, okay? Otherwise, it's just not going to be as good. And then I'm just going to add, cook that for a couple more minutes. Bear with me 1 second. So it says 3 minutes, Roma temperature, reverse, slower speed. Simple, right? It's just heating up the sauce, so when you put the prawns in, it turns out beautiful. Hi Raylene, you've just joined, haven't made them yet. You have to let me know if you try it, okay? So anyone who jumps on and does try this recipe, I'd love to see what you think of it. If you've just jumped on, today we're making some garlic prawns in the Thermomix. It's super quick and easy. Literally, how long have I been on for? Maybe 5 minutes. And my recipe's nearly done. It's got like another 5 minutes of just cooking these prawns, and then it will seriously be done. And I will add a photo at the end of what it looks like. So I don't have you all hanging around and waiting for me to finish this recipe. I don't have a Thermomix, but I have a Bellini, but I'll try it this week. Yeah, it definitely works in all the different appliances like this. Even if it's on the stovetop, like literally just follow like the chopping of the onion and garlic, throw that in a pan with some butter and some oil, fry it up, put the creams in like I have, and then put your prawns in. It's the same method. It's just obviously Thermomix is a bit simpler, and I'm not sitting here stirring it. I'm having conversations with you guys. More fun, isn't it, having a Thermomix? You can just stick it on the side and vegetable stock paste is so good. Yes, I agree. It is seriously, it makes a huge difference to your meals. I usually just replace it for salt whenever you use it. It's definitely something that you should have in your pantry. Most of my pantry has all those little replacements, and as you become more familiar with using a Thermomix, definitely replace all those different things, because it really makes the flavor of your food different. And you're cooking from scratch with real foods, like the vegetable stock paste is just literally you throwing everything into a bowl, blending it up, and that's got so many vegetables, so many herbs, and then it's just powerhousing whatever meal you've just made with all those ground down vegetables and things. So let's skip ahead to the last little step. How easy has it been, guys? I've done 3 steps, like the onions and the garlic, cooking up the sauce now, and now I'm just going to add all the prawns, hopefully without burning myself. Like I said, the recipe calls for 500 grams, but I'm throwing in a kilo. Actually, I don't think with this, because this size is quite big. If you had the really small ones, you could probably add more, but this is nearly maxing out the bowl. I think I dropped one. Nope, that's all right. And then this just cooks for 5 minutes. Like I said, this is the part that might vary in time, depending on how big your prawns are, if they're frozen, if they're not frozen. But it's as simple as that. Now that's just going to cook, and they'll be ready to serve. It's really not a hard recipe. You'll be surprised by how much flavor is in it. If you're not a garlic lover, you're not going to like this recipe because it is very garlicky. But if you are a garlic lover like me, you will love this recipe. It's definitely beautiful. The paste is so full of salt or preservatives, I can't use it. If you make your own, you can reduce the amount of salt, and there's no preservatives if you're making it yourself. Definitely Google Thermomix stock paste, and honestly, it will change your life. It's the best recipe. It adds so much flavor to the food, and you have absolutely no preservatives or anything in there. The reason that you add the salt is to preserve the stock, and I keep it in the fridge for months, and it's perfect. It's beautiful. You will see it if it goes off, but the salt is what preserves it. But yeah, simple as that, guys. I'd love to show you the finished product. So I will add a photo at the end. And you can go off and try them. I'd love to see if you guys try it this week, what you think of it. Make sure you share it in my private Facebook group. I'll add a link to that in the comments as well in case you're not a part of that group yet. Freeze it if using less salt. Thank you, Sarah. That's a great tip. I use half the salt recommended. I store it in a jar in the freezer. Sounds good, guys. Yeah, I think if you add too much salt, it doesn't freeze well. So maybe if you half the salt, you can freeze it. Love when you guys jump on and have comments on there. Hello from Oman. Hi. I think I said that right. No worries, guys. Really appreciate you jumping on. Hope you liked the video. This is still going to take a couple more minutes, so I might leave you guys and just send you some photos of the finished product with my steamed veggies when I finish them. I don't steam at the same time because by the time it heats up to varoma, it won't even have enough time to cook the veggies. So I do that separately. I'll put this in a little thermo bowl, keep those warm, and then I'll just steam the veggies for however long they need, depending on what veggies I'm using, and then just serve it on top of my veggies, and it turns out beautiful. Maybe sprinkle it with a little bit of like parsley or coriander or whatever you like on top as well. Perfect dinner, simple. It's actually my son's favorite dish. It was funny because my dad's like, oh, you only need a couple of prawns each, and I said, oh, we'll be lucky to eat if my son leaves me any, and my other child and husband any more of the prawns, because he will eat all of them on his own if I let him. He loves it that much. So yeah, I hope you try it, guys, and I'll chat to you all soon. Thanks for jumping on with me. Chat soon. Bye.